I used to have severe social anxiety. I remember once was on this camp, right? So you go on this camp with like your friends. It's like a school camp. You go with your friends, and you just have fun. You know, you play games. You get like the tents ready and all that. It's like a fun camp. You're supposed to have fun. It was like in the summer vacation, all that. So I'm in this camp, right? And I have severe social anxiety. And I literally couldn't speak to anyone. I would have this thing, right? That when I would speak to someone, I would just be constantly thinking about, fear of what the other person would think about me, fear of, am I saying the right thing? Just social anxiety, anxious about people. I'm just scared of being around people. Not even like speaking to people, I'm scared of being around people. That's how severe my social anxiety was. And actually in this camp, I remember I was, in like my tent, right? Or like my room, the place I'm in. I'm with two other guys. So we're in this like room with like 3 beds in the camp. And I'm like, just give me 1 second, I'll go into the toilet. And they're like, okay. And I go into the toilet and I cry and cry. I'm just so sad. That day everyone was having so much fun. Everyone was talking, having so much fun in like the pool area and like in playing football. And I'm just sitting lonely the whole day, not even able to hold someone's eye contact. Severely socially anxious, and I just looked at myself, literally crying. And I would look at myself and I would cry even more because I just felt like I had no solution. And now I'm happy to say, because of this book, honestly, and I'm gonna explain to you how I made this transformation, that I literally have way too many friends. Like I'm that popular guy everywhere I go. I'm like that guy that everyone loves being around. I'm that popular guy, right? And I'm not saying this to boast or anything. I'm just showing you how powerful these things that I will tell you in this full guide are. These things literally made me go from someone who couldn't even hold eye contact with anyone, that's how socially anxious I was, to someone who literally is so popular and everyone loves to be around. That's how transformative what I'm gonna tell you in this video is. So listen closely, focus, sit back, relax of course, and just listen to what I'm gonna tell you. Now, honestly, I attribute everything, all of my social skills, all of the popularity, all of my friends, everything about my social skills to one book that changed my life, that made me go from literally someone who wanted to kill himself because of how lonely and socially anxious I was. I couldn't not even speak to girls, I couldn't even speak to boys. That's how socially anxious I was, to literally being that popular guy who everyone loves. The book that made me go from extremely socially anxious to extremely popular, in my opinion, the greatest book of all time, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This book is like the Bible of social skills. Like, if you read this book, like, it will change your life. I'm telling you, it will completely change your life. But you don't need to read this book, because I'm gonna explain probably most of what's in this book in this video. And if you hear what I say in this video and you practice with everyone you see in school or your family or in work, at least some of these principles, it will change your life. It will make you that popular guy who everyone loves being around, who everyone just enjoys their company, and everyone just wants to talk to you. I've literally had experiences, bro. People literally texting me all the time to want me to be around. People literally pulling me towards them to come be with them, right? That's how powerful these tips are. They will literally make you the most popular guy everywhere you go. You will have tons and tons of friends and tons of influence everywhere you go. I'm gonna fully, in this full guide, explain the entire 30 principles in this amazing book by Dale Carnegie. the entire book that will absolutely change your life. All right, let's start. So first, let's start with chapter 1. And this chapter is all about techniques in handling people. So this is like the base you need, the basis to treat people. This is how you deal with people. This is how you handle people, right? So the first thing, and literally the base of everything we're gonna say right now, is the first lesson in social skills is don't criticize. So now the first principle is actually, it's not even don't criticize, it's don't criticize, condemn, or complain. That's the first principle. You know, when they get, you know, like people who have done like really, really big crimes, you know, like the big crime people, like gangster people who have committed, literally like killed people, who have literally like murdered people, like sexually assaulted people, like done just raped women, like just done extremely, extremely abusive things, like legit crimes. When they get these people and they ask them, did you do something wrong, or was what you did wrong? Always their answer is no. And if you actually dissect their brain, in their brain what they did wasn't wrong. Because this is what you need to understand, bro, and this is the basis of all of what we're gonna do right now is, and I've explained this in many videos in social skills and all that, is that people have a very, 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 very deep desire that is as deep as eating, as breathing, as drinking water, as sleeping, as having sex. It's so deep and fundamental. The deepest desire of human nature is a feeling of importance. A feeling of importance is the deepest desire of human nature. And the one thing that destroys people's feeling of importance is criticizing, condemning, and complaining. So don't criticize. I know it's hard, like sometimes you just have to criticize people, but just try. Just tell yourself, you know what, I'm not gonna criticize this person. Like this person, if I criticize him, I will lose friends, he won't even ever be one to hear my opinion. The thing with criticism is it destroys people's feeling of importance. It's making you lose friends daily. It's literally destroying your social skills. Stop criticizing people, stop condemning people, stop, telling people they're wrong, stop, telling this person do this, do that, do that. Stop criticizing. It's destroying people's feeling of importance. So the first rule is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. So that's the first thing. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. The second thing is give honest and sincere appreciation. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Now, you know how we've said in the beginning of the video that people have this really, really deep desire for a feeling of importance, and it's what we're gonna base all of these principles on. Now, we've said that the thing that you should avoid, literally avoid like rattlesnakes, is criticism, is criticizing people, because it destroys people's feeling of importance. What you should do, what you should increase of, what you should do as much as possible is give honest and sincere appreciation. Hey, that's a really nice book you're reading. Hey, you got really nice shoes. Hey, Daisy, you look really pretty today. Just honest and sincere appreciation. For men and women, it just changes people's lives. People will love you when you honestly and sincerely appreciate them. And appreciating people is like just praising people, telling people, hey, that's, thank you, man. hey, you know, that's a really nice shirt you're wearing today. Or even just nice gestures, like even when you meet someone and you tell him like, thank you for that, I appreciate that. People love it when you do that. And because people rarely ever do this, people will love you when you thank them, when you greet them. That makes people feel so important. So give honest and sincere appreciation. You know, if a waiter gives you food and it tastes nice, tell him, man, thank you for this food, it tastes amazing. And you will just see that waiter's face just light up, right? So just give people honest and sincere appreciation. You know, compliment people, not only about, you know, their outside physical things, even about their personality traits. Hey, you're a really nice guy. Hey, you're such a strong guy. Hey, that's a nice PR. That's amazing, bro. If someone is speaking about themselves, you know, tell him, bro, wow, that's amazing, bro. You just got those new shoes. Like, just give honest and sincere appreciation for everyone, because all of us are insecure. So when we find that rare person who just appreciates us and compliments us, we just love that person and we love being around him, right? And the third thing is, so we've said don't criticize, give honest and sincere appreciation. And the third thing is arouse in the other person an eager want. So, you know what's the only way to influence someone, to make someone do something for you? The only way in human literally the only way to make someone do something for you, it's to make that other person want to do it. So arousing the other person an eager want. And what Dale Carnegie means by this is look at the other person's point of view. Just put yourself in their shoes. Like, think, if I was John right now, what would I do? If I was this other person that I'm speaking to, what would I like to hear? What would make me feel important, right? What would I want? Right? Just look at the other person's point of view. Look at the other person's point of view. Look at what they want. Stop just stop caring about what you want for a second, bro, and listen to what I'm about to say. Look at the other person. Look at what he wants. Look at what he wants from you, right? Like, if someone, let's say for example, someone comes along and criticizes you for something, like he tells you, hey man, you don't look that muscular, you look like shit. Someone tells you that. And you look at that person, you just stop for a second and just put yourself in that person's shoes. You realize, hey, that guy, he's a loser, probably. He doesn't even go to the gym, he probably plays tons of video games, he smokes weed, probably he vapes. And he's just saying that, not because you're a bad person or anything, or there's something bad about you. No, it's because he's a bad person and because he is insecure. That's how you should look at other people's point of view. See what I mean? So look at what the other person wants. I promise you, if you do this, not only will you make tons and tons of friends, but you will make millions and millions of dollars. But by just using this simple principle is looking at the other person's point of view. Look at what the other person wants. And I think Henry Ford said this, that the single greatest key to success is looking at the other person's point of view. So those are the fundamental techniques in handling people, and you should practice these. You have to practice these, bro. Like, I can speak about them all I want, but you have to practice them. Don't criticize, appreciate people, and look at the other person's point of view. Right? Boys, chapter 2. Now the first chapter we talked about how to handle people, how to treat people. This chapter 2, is all about how to make people like you, how to have friends. This is what you came for, bro. This is literally the most important part of this whole guide. Like, just do these 6 things, these 6 ways to make people like you, and you won't need to watch any social skills video. You will have tons and tons of friends and be popular everywhere you go if you just practice these 6 things. So Dale Carnegie talks about 6 ways or 6 things or strategies you can do to make people like you. But before I go on to the 6 ways, and I've kind of teased this a bit in the beginning of the video, but now there is a fundamental, deep desire that everyone wants, and as I said in the beginning of the video, is as deep as eating, as drinking, as breathing. It's so deep in human nature that people will literally do anything to get it. People will literally do anything to get this deep desire. And the thing is, no one fulfills this desire. No one fulfills it. And people are so deprived and hungry and just deprived of this one deep, fundamental human desire, that the rare person who fulfills this deep desire will have literally the whole world with him. Will have literally everyone will want to be his friend. Everyone will want to be around him. He will be that popular guy everywhere he goes. If he fulfills this one deep desire that all people have, even me, even you, everyone has this deep desire. And this deep desire, as I've said, is a feeling of importance. A feeling of importance is the deepest desire in human nature. It's literally why we do everything. It's why men go and work jobs to feel important. It's why women put on makeup to feel important. It's why, little girls at school keep taking, selfies and Instagram and, thirst traps to feel important. It's why, young men go to the gym. It's to feel important. It's why young men play video games. It's to feel important. Literally everything we do is to feel important, is to be appreciated. And the thing is, no one makes anyone feel important because everyone just wants him or her to feel important. Everyone is so selfish in this world that no one makes anyone feel important. So when you become that literally 1% guy who goes on people and just makes them feel important, everyone will want to be around you. Everyone will love you. Everyone will want to be your friend. And this is what the book How to Influence and Influence People basically talks about, is how to make people feel important. And these 6 ways are ways to make people feel important, basically. And if you practice just one of these in your day-to-day, you will have way more friends than you do right now. So the first way to make people feel important, and the way to make people feel important is by these 6 ways to make people like you. Now the first way is to become genuinely interested in other people. The first way to make people like you and to make people feel important is to become genuinely interested in other people. Now, you know what's the one word that, or one pronoun, you've probably had this question in your mind, is what's the one word or just one thing that people say the most in conversations, that people just say the most, right? The one thing that people say the most is the personal pronoun I. Think about it. I read this book. I bought this bottle. I went to vacation yesterday. I met my friends. I bought this, whiteboard marker. I. People love talking about themselves because it makes them feel important. And people get this right. This is so important, bro. People are not interested in you. They don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about me. They care and they give a fuck about themselves. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about themselves. And Dale Carnegie has this quote where he says, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." So stop trying to get other people interested in you and start becoming interested in other people. Be interested in other people. And the way to do this is really simple, is to just lean forward, focus on someone's speaking, give people your attention, right? Become interested in other people. And this of course takes practice, and you have to just practice these. Like the whole thing, I know I'm giving you like all this value and information, but you have to just memorize even one of these principles and just go out and practice them, bro. Right? So just become genuinely interested in other people. Just focus on what the other person's saying. Give him your attention. Be interested. Like, honestly, in the beginning, before I did this, I was like, man, I have to become genuinely interested in other people. Like, that's so boring. I'm interested in myself. But now I think, like, just think about like how fascinating, other people are. Just think about, all of other people's experiences and all the stories that you just haven't heard, and all the knowledge and all the problems you can learn from other people. It's fascinating if you actually think about it. So just become interested, or actually be genuinely interested in other people. And I'll just give you a tip here. If you don't feel like you want to be interested in someone, if you don't feel like, man, that guy is not interested, just fucking act like it. Just act like you're interested. Literally force yourself. Just be like this and just nod your head, just act like you're just interested in what the other person's saying. Just act like it. And I promise you, it works, right? It works, and it makes people feel so important, and it makes everyone just literally glued to you. It makes you that popular guy, right? So the first thing is become genuinely interested in other people. All right. Now, the second way to make people like you is, and I know the first one was a bit complicated, but this one is just really, really simple. It's extremely simple, actually. It's this: smile. A smile it's an indicator of your goodwill. It's an indicator that it shows the other person that, I like you, I appreciate you, you make me happy, I love being around you. That's what a smile actually shows. And of course, it makes people feel important, right? So a smile, it just shows that you love the other person. It shows that you appreciate the other person. Like, just me like smiling at you right now, and this is a genuine smile, I'm not like faking this. Just me smiling at you right now is just making you like me more, because it just shows, I like you, I love being around you, I'm happy with you. And if you think about it, bro, like people, all the boys in your school, they keep putting on like this fancy clothes and all this to feel important. And all the girls, they wear like crop tops and all this, they do these fancy hairstyles and all that, but they don't change the most important thing in their physical, which is literally just your facial expression, your smile. Like, you can have two people, right? One guy, he's wearing like the most expensive clothes, like designer, Gucci, whatever, very, very expensive clothes, but his face is like a rustic bitch face, like this. And you can have another guy who's wearing like very, very normal, like even $1 clothes, but he's smiling. I guarantee you this guy will have way more friends than this guy. Because people don't want you to be wearing expensive shit. People just want you to smile at them. The people are people are craving a smile so much. And actually, the great thing is, for you, because I know you probably care about you want to feel important, is a smile actually has been shown to make you happy. Like if you literally just force a smile right now, it will make you happy. Like I right now, I'm happy because I forced a smile, right? Just force a smile right now and it will make you feel happy, all right? So the second thing is just smile. So be genuinely interested in other people, lean in, focus on what the other person's saying, give him your attention, be interested in the conversation and what he's saying, and smile. That's the thing, just smile, If you do these two things, I guarantee you will have tons of friends. And these are just 2 tips out of 6, right? So be genuinely interested in other people. The second one is smile, all right? Now, the third thing, and this is a bit of a long one, but it's very simple. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most, I know this is really long, but it will make so much sense, I promise. Sound in any language. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. What's the one word that people just love hearing? People are just literally obsessed with hearing it, even in any language. The sweetest and most important sound people love to hear in any language is not like music or anything. It's so simple. The most important and sweetest sound people love hearing in any language is their name. It's their name, bro. Like, think about it, bro. Like, people will literally put their names on billboards. People will open shops, like huge shops, like massive iron shops with like their family name. Every entrepreneur these days, his company is his name. Everyone is obsessed with their name because it goes into the fundamental principle of human nature, of social skills, is a person's name is what makes him feel important. It makes him feel important because your name is to you only. It's not to someone else. You have a name and someone else has a different name and someone else has a different name. So by you just, greeting people and just saying their name, bro, that just makes people feel so important. And the thing is, people literally never, ever, or rarely ever call people by their name because they're like, I forgot it. Bro, you literally, you forgot, like, forgetting someone's name is like forgetting, like, your credit card, It's like, it's something that is literally making you lose tons of money. I forgot his name. And actually remembering people's names is just a skill. Like, I used to be terrible at remembering people's names, and I used to have this awkward thing where, hey, sorry, what's your name again? And I used to have to always remember people's names. But just practicing just asking people what their name is and just repeating it in my mind tons and tons of times, I just got really good at remembering people's names. I've had literally people who I've met like for 1 year, and I meet them again and I would remember their names. And I would see them like brighten up, like, man, you still remember my name from that long, right? So it's a skill nonetheless. All these things are skills. Actually, Napoleon used to, when he would meet someone who is of high status, who is like a leader or something like that, he would ask him, hey, what's your name? And he would say, like, my name is, whatever, like Andrew or something. So he would wait for the other person to turn around, and he would quickly grab his pen and grab his paper and literally write it down. That's how important a person's name is. And you might think, you know, man, I'm really busy, I can't remember people's names. Well, you're not as busy as Napoleon, bro. Like, please, bro, remember people's names. Now, I want to talk to you about first impressions, right? Because these tips are so simple, but you can have so many friends by these simple things. Like, your first impression should literally be like, hey John, how you doing today? Hey Mark, how you doing today? Hey, you know, Daisy, how are you today? Like, while I'm doing this, like, for example, hey John, I'm genuinely interested in him, you know, open body language, I'm interested, you know, I'm smiling like with my eyebrows up, and of course I'm saying their names, you know, hey John. So in like literally 2 to 3 seconds, I made that person like me. That's literally the art of social skills. You know, your first impressions should always be like exactly like this. Hey Mark, how you doing today? And you just listen, which is, we'll get onto it in a moment here, but this is how your first impression needs to be. Hey Mark, hey John, you know, hey, with like a smile, you know, saying people's names, being genuinely interested. These things make people love you, man. Now, you know what most people's first impressions are, and this is why most people are lonely. This is literally why Gen Z is the loneliest generation in human existence, is because people have shit first impressions. When they see someone, they're like, hey, how are you? Bro, how am I gonna like you if your first impression is like, hey, how are you, man? Versus, hey, John, how are you, bro? Right? Just switching these little things makes people love you. And they cost you nothing. Just be genuinely interested, smile, you know, say that person's name. And you even, like, I'll be honest with you, if you just practice these things, like, you will get to a point where you just do it subconsciously without even having to remember it. That's the point I'm at. Like, because I've been practicing these, you know, social skills for like 2 years probably. I'm at a point where I just do it subconsciously without me even realizing it. Like, if I meet you right now, I'd be like, hey man, how you doing? What's your name? You know, I will be like that. That's how I am. It's become ingrained in my personality. That's how it should be, right? So remember people's names, bro. Say people's names as much as possible. As much as possible. The more you say people's names, the more they will just love you and want to be your friend. Right? So the third thing is remember people's names, and we've said so far, be genuinely interested in other people, smile, remember people's names. Alright. Now, the fourth thing is before. And this is a big one, right? This is a big one. It's really easy, but it makes people feel so important, and it's a big one. You should practice. That will make people feel so important and will make you tons of friends. And it's called, number 4 is be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Be a good listener, encourage others to talk about themselves. Listening, man, we all crave a good listener. We all crave that one person, you know, to just listen to us, to listen to our problems, to listen to, you know, our experiences, our stories, you know, everything bad that's happened, everything good that's happened in our lives. We all crave someone to just look at us and just listen to us. We all crave it, bro. And of course we crave it because it makes us feel so important. That feeling of having a good listener that just makes you feel important, that makes you feel heard, Like no money can buy that at all. In fact, people literally will pay millions and millions and millions of dollars to the best therapists, and the one thing that therapists do is just they listen. People will pay tons and tons of money every single day for someone to just listen to them and their problems. Like people are so hungry and desperate for a good listener that if you become that, you will never struggle with having to have friends ever in your life. And be a good listener, and also encourage others to talk about themselves. So the next time like you meet your friend, you know, hey Ali, how you doing? Like the first impression, I tell him, hey, so tell me, where did you get those new shoes? They look really nice. Something like that, you know. Encourage them to talk about themselves. You know, what did you do yesterday? Tell me about it. And you just listen to them, and they will ramble on, because people love to talk about themselves. They will just ramble and ramble and ramble on and keep just talking and talking and talking, and you just listen. Just listen, and you try your best to not interrupt, to not go in the middle. You just try your best to just listen. Like honestly, all or most of your conversations should be 10% talking, 90% listening. If you really want to take this serious, bro, if you really want to listen to people, 90% should be listening and 10% should be talking. And you might think, well, man, you know, I can't listen to people, man. I always interrupt people, and you have this like little bit of insecurity. Let me just tell you something, bro. You're 37 minutes into this video, and you've been listening to me ramble on, even fucking up my words a bit, and you've been just listening to me for all this time. So you're actually a good listener if you think about it. You just haven't practiced it in real life. But you're listening to me all this time. So just practice. Just go out and, you know, pause this video right now, bro. I know you're a man and you will do it. Just pause your video right now and just go, you know, ask your mom something about her life, you know. Did you meet your friend yesterday? Or just encourage your mom to talk about herself and just listen to her. And your mom will speak so much, but your mom will feel so loved and so appreciated and so important, and she will love you. And that feeling is honestly better than anything in the world. So be a good listener, encourage others to talk about themselves, listen to people. And I think Brian Tracy said that the single best way to make people feel important is to be a good listener, is to listen to people, right? And you think about it, like, this is why famous people go on podcasts. This is why famous people go on interviews. It's because they want someone to listen to them. All right, so far we've said be genuinely interested in other people, smile, remember people's names, and be a good listener, encourage others to talk about themselves. Number 5. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. I'm actually going to tell you a story about this one. You know, I was in health class the other day, and you know, the teacher was talking about, you know, to improve your health. If you don't know this, like, if you want to improve your health has like 3 aspects basically, you know, physical health, mental health, social health. I've talked about this a lot. And in our like health book, and like the main health book, there's like this section on how to have good social health. And there was in that section like a section on how to make friends. And I just looked at this and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is why people are fucking lonely, bro. This is why people are lonely. It's because like the advice there is so trash. You know what's the advice there, bro? You know what the advice is there, bro? It's like, be an interesting person, build yourself up so people are gonna be interested in you. That's bullshit advice, bro. Fuck the people who say that. Like, everyone just has this stupid, ridiculous idea that if you want to make friends, you have to be interesting, you have to be an interesting person, you have to be outgoing, you have to be all this, blah, 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 blah. No, that's literally, the reason I hate this so much is because it's literally the exact opposite of what you should do. Like, everyone says, you have to be interesting, you have to be interesting, you have to be interesting. Bro, it's the exact opposite. To be interesting, you have to be interested. You have to be interested in other people. You have to talk in what the other person is interested in for them to be interested in you. And I will actually tell you a story about this. So there was this one time I was in the mall with my friends, right? With my, friend group. And one of my friends, he has like his other friend group. So like two friend groups meet basically. So all of us were like 10 people basically. So 10 people, 10 of us, like 5 in my group and 5 in like my other friends group. And we're all in like this cafe basically, in this fancy cafe. And I'm just putting this in mind, I'm gonna practice my social skills. So we go into this cafe, we sit in this like big fancy table, right? And everyone is just speaking about themselves. Everyone is just speaking about, their experiences, their stories. Everyone's speaking about, I went to this store the other day, I went to this vacation, I went to this guy, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's just speaking about themselves, right? And I'm just seated like this. And I'm leaning in with like a smile and just listening to what other people are saying. And I'm interested, I'm focusing on what other people are saying, right? And their experiences and all that. And what's the weird thing? 15 minutes into the conversation, one of my friends from like my friend group is like, hey Kevin, you haven't spoken that much, right? And I was like, no, I'm just listening to what everyone's saying, I like listening to others. And he was like, he looked at like the other friend group who the other friend group don't know me at all, and he's like, guys, he has like he reads books, he has like a YouTube channel, he goes to the gym, he meditates, he journals. And all my friends are like, wow, bro, that's amazing, I'm gonna subscribe to you right now. And just everyone just became interested in me, but because I was interested in them first. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be interested in other people first for them to be interested in you. And this is what I mean by talk in terms of the other person's interest. And this is so simple. Like, if you just, let's say in your class, right, in school, you have like a friend and he's interested in like football or something. You tell him, you implement like the old, like the principles we just said, hey Josh, like with a smile and saying his name and being genuinely interested. And you ask him, did you see that, match between Barcelona and Real Madrid? Just anything, just say anything. That match between Barcelona and Real Madrid. And he will just ramble and ramble and ramble on, and he will just keep speaking, but I liked, Lamine Yamal's goal, or, I like this guy's goal, and this guy was better, and this guy was better, and he'll just keep speaking, and you just focus, and you're interested, and you're smiling. That guy, he will literally love you. I promise, he will literally be obsessed with you, because no one was ever that interested in him as you were, if you do that. So you just go to someone and you're like, did you see, like, if you have like a friend who's interested in like cars, you ask him like just a basic question, like, do you like Mercedes or BMW? And he'll be like, I love Mercedes, right? He'll be like that. He'll say like, I love Mercedes. And you're like, why? Well, he'll tell you like, yeah, because the interior is better, and like the engine's better, and blah 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 and all this. And you just listen, you're focused, you're smiling, you're just listening to that guy. He will love you, This is literally the basis of social skills, bro. I have Bro, I just realized, like, we remember when I said, bro, this is fucked. Remember when I said in the beginning of the video that the word that people use the most is I? I've said the pronoun I like literally tons of time in this video because I'm human, you know, I want to feel important. But I'll tell you a story. This just shows you how people are so interested in themselves. I'm not saying this to feel important. I'm just saying this to give you like value, to help you. So there was this one time I like, it was like in the beginning of the school year, and there was this new kid, and this kid's like really shy and all that, but I can tell he really liked, you know, fragrances. He really liked, you know, perfumes and fragrances and all that. And I know nothing about fragrances at all. All right. I was like, hey, like, tell me about your, you know, perfumes and all that. And he was like, you know, I got this, you know, Stronger With You and like this other perfume like Dior. So I know nothing about this. I swear, this is what he told me. And I just kept asking him questions like, well, what's your favorite perfume? What perfume are you wearing right now? And I smelled him and I was like, hey, that's a really nice perfume. And he just loved me. He just loved being around me because I took an interest in him. So if you see someone and you know if he's someone in your family, in like your friend group, you just ask him, like, you talk about what he's interested in. And he will just love speaking about you because people love speaking about themselves, especially what they are interested in. And that will make you an interesting person. And if you think about it, bro, like me and you, bro, we're the most interesting people in the world. Like, bro, like we go to the gym, right? Look at them gains. Like we read books, we record videos. You know, we meditate, we journal, we do all this self-improvement stuff. We're really interesting people. But do you really think that when I meet someone, I talk about what I am interested in, what I do? Hell no. I rarely ever speak about what I'm interested in. I only speak about self-improvement on this channel. Only. I never speak about it with like anyone else. Because first of all, I know people don't like it when I talk about myself, and second of all, I just don't like boasting. But I talk about what the other person is interested in, and this is what you should do, bro. You should talk about what the other person is interested in. Right? So right now we've said like the 5 principles are: be genuinely interested in other people, smile, talk in terms of the other person's interests, listen, and remember people's names. I know I fucked up the formation, whatever, right? The last principle to make people like you is make other people feel important. This is what I've been speaking about all the time. This is literally the most important thing. If you want to make money, if you want to make friends, this is the greatest thing of all time. Make other people feel important. This is the key to success right here. Make other people feel important. And you do that, of course, through the 5 ways we've just said. You know, be genuinely interested in other people, smile, remember people's names, listen, talk in terms of the other person's interests. But the one simple way, and probably the easiest and greatest way to make other people feel important, is to praise them, is to, like we've said in the beginning of this guide, appreciate people, is to just praise people. You know, if you have a person who you actually think like he like is really an attractive guy, you know, hey, you're a really attractive guy. Hey, you got really nice shoes. Hey, that's a really nice shirt. Hey, you're a really kind person. You know, these things just make people feel so important, but it has to be genuine. That's the thing. You can't be telling your fat friend. You can't be telling him, "Hey, you look really in shape." Like he'll just understand it, and he will hate you even more. That's the thing, and I've learned that from experience. So it has to be sincere. Like if you see your friend and like he looks in shape, you tell him, "Hey, you look really in shape. You look really great today, bro." If you see like one of your friends has like really nice shoes, you tell him, "Hey, you got really nice shoes, bro. I like those shoes. Where did you get them from?" Now, a mix of all these 6 things, an interaction of a mix of all these 6 things would look like this, right? "Hey, John." Smile, people's names, genuinely interested. "Hey, John, so tell me, well, what did you do last night?" And you just listen to him, and he tells you like, encouraging others to talk about themselves, taking an interest in the other person. "What did you do yesterday, John?" So he'll be like, "Yesterday I went to buy new clothes," and you'll be like, "Wow, that's amazing, bro." And he'll lighten up. He'll even like open his phone and like show you his clothes. And you look at them and you're like, "Yo, that's a really nice shirt, bro. Where did you get that from?" And he'll just speak on, and you just listen. So you got genuinely interested, you're smiling, you remember, you said his name, you talked in terms of what he said, you were genuinely interested, and you praised him about like the new shirt he bought. This is all you need to make friends, honestly. It's just these 6 principles. Be genuinely interested in other people. Smile. Remember people's names, listen, and talk in terms of the other person's interests, and praise people. All right?